Picking out something to wear can be time-consuming and expensive. You want to boost your stats and become powerful, but your bank account is dwindling. Don't worry, I'm here to help with the clothing skill line. I'm Lord Kelbor, and welcome to the channel. In this part of our guide series, I'll be focusing on the clothing skill line in ESO. Like my other guides, I've tried to make this as easy as possible for those who are newer to ESO, or even those who have been around for a while but are just now getting into crafting. And of course, if you find any of this information useful, do me a huge favor and let the YouTube algorithm know that you like it by hitting the like button and commenting down below. I read every comment and I try to respond to as many as I can. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family if you think it would help them as well. And if you want more, by the end of this video, just hit subscribe and check out some of my other content. In this guide, I'll be covering the clothing skill line in ESO. I'll be including both the basic pieces as well as covering how to craft sets for your characters. Okay, let's get started. Inside of the clothing station, you'll see 6 tabs across the top. If you've seen some of my other crafting videos, you'll notice these are very similar. First is refining. This is where you refine raw materials into usable materials. Creation, where you actually create your armor. Deconstruction, this is where you can deconstruct pieces. Improvement, where you can increase the quality of your armor. Research, where you learn new traits to add to your armor. And finally, patterns. This is where you create furnishings for your house using your clothing skill. Which leads us to our skills. In the crafting section, we can select the clothing skill line to see the passives we can learn. Tailoring, which determines the level of material we can use. Keen Eye, this causes cloth nodes to glow when you're near them. Outfitter Hireling, this is a hireling that goes out and finds materials, then mails them to you every 12 hours or so. Unraveling, this increases your chance of extracting clothing ingredients and allows you to get the highest level of tannins from raw materials. Stitching reduces your research times and increases the number of items you can research at a time. And finally, Tannin Expertise, which increases your chances of improving items using the clothing skill. Now back to the clothing station. For this guide, we'll be focusing on creation and improvement, but definitely check out the other tabs at your leisure. We'll be making gloves for this guide, but remember, this can be applied to any of the armors inside of the clothing station. In order to make the item, we need to make sure we have the correct refined materials. Each material has a range of levels that it's able to make, so as we scroll through you can see which material you'll need for the desired level of the armor. Below the material section we can see the style. This determines what the armor will look like, but you'll have to have learned the style in order to use it. The final option is the trait. Traits add extra abilities to your armor, and you will have to have had the desired trait researched in order to use it. Once you select your desired trait, and as long as you have all the required materials, make sure everything looks right, and just hit craft. It's easy, right? You just crafted your first gloves. Now this is a basic armor piece that can be enchanted and used. It will provide you with some benefits depending on the trait and the enchant you've chosen. Okay, that's enough of basic armor. Let's move on to something a little bit more challenging. Craftable armor sets. Sets are items that give you bonuses based on the number of items you wear from that set, up to 5. These can be found all over, from dolmens to Herostorms, world bosses, dungeons, but the sets we're looking at today are ones that you can craft. Now there is a little bit of a catch to this, but we'll cover that in a minute. In order to craft these sets, you'll need to find the crafting station location, which is shown on your map with this symbol. If you're in a larger guild, however, you may be lucky enough to have access to a large crafting area with all of the attunable crafting stations, like this. Let's head over and make a glove from the new Moon Acolyte set. This is one of my favorite sets to use as it covers both weapon users and magic users, and don't forget to let me know down in the comments what your favorite set is. Inside of the Creation tab, you can see there's a new tab for Set Creation. And this is where the little bit of a catch comes into play. In order to make a piece from a set, you'll need to have learned a certain number of traits for that armor piece. New Moon Acolyte, for example, requires 9 traits, which means I'll have to have learned 9 traits from whatever piece I want to craft from this set. The creation process for set items is the same as making the basic pieces. Select your material to determine the level, the style of the item you're wanting to make, and the trait you want on that piece. Once everything looks right, just hit craft, and there you go. You just made a New Moon Acolyte's gloves. Now that we have the gloves, we can see that it will provide us with a set bonus, based on the number of items we use from this set, up to 5. And just like basic items, we can enchant set items as well. I won't cover enchanting in this guide, but if you do need help with that, check out my enchanting guide here, and I'll have a link to that video in the description as well. Okay, moving on to improvement. We'll select that tab, then select the item you want to improve, and a window will pop up in the middle showing what it will become once you improve it. If the item is enchanted, the enchantment will also be affected by the improvement. Once you choose the right item, and assuming you have all the needed improvement materials, just hit Improve, confirm your decision, and there we have it. Now you know how to make your very own pair of gloves in the set that you want, as well as how to improve it. And of course, you can apply this information to any of the other items inside of the clothing station as well. That's all for this guide. Now head down to the comment section and let those gloves type what set they want to be a part of. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, as it helps the channel out quite a bit. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget the little bell icon, that way YouTube knows that you want to know when I upload a new video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.